writer.
Okay.
For those who
what we do here is go back.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
But I promise you,
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I'm your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. It is Wednesday, Hump Day. Welcome. Middle of the week. We're almost there. Don't worry about it. But hey, glad you're watching. Hey, got the airdrop shirt on tonight. Little Jesta action. Yeah. Yes. I think Sarge Julius Dembski was the one I think that got it tonight. Yeah. Good job, Sarge. Anyway, welcome. If you want one of these cool ass shirts, www.childofmecha.com. Hit the store button up at the top. You know what to do. You'll find shirts, hats, and all sorts of other cool stuff in there. Go get it. Oh yeah, look at that. Kurt Hill got it too. Sorry, Kurt. I missed it. My bad. But go check all that stuff out. Stock up. If you are interested in any of the tools and materials that we're working with here tonight, which we may not be working with many, because we're still kid bashing, check out the Amazon link just below here on Twitch, YouTube, that side if you're watching on Facebook. As always, if you're interested in kits and materials and tools and other good stuff, hit up our good friends right down here. Boom, boom. USA Gundam Store. Adam and the fine folks down there will definitely have what you need. They'll also have Mecha Decals. Yes, go find them. Go get them. Go buy them. And if you are interested in maybe seeing Mecha Decals in your local hobby store, go bug your local hobby store to hit up USA Gundam Store. There's a wholesale link at the bottom. They can sign up, start carrying Mecha Decals on the shelf. Yes. So, since we were last together Monday, I've been thinking about this Gelgoog thing, and especially the chest. The chest had been a source of frustration. I'm not gonna lie, because I didn't want to necessarily use the Gelgoog chest. It's a little, a little frumpy, a little fatty, a little fatty. But then, looking at the Sazabi chest again, I didn't want to use that either because it's very, I don't know. I think it's a little bulky, right? A little bulky, especially around the midsection. So at the end of the stream last time, I pulled out the Q-Blade, and I put that chest together. And I think that's going to work really, really well. Because it's got the width that I want. Because I want the chest to be wider, right? But it's also got a nice trim waist as well. So it's got that nice V taper, right? And since it's an older master grade, it's pretty simplistic on the inside. So if we needed to modify this, which we are, it's not going to be insanely difficult to do. And that's something that definitely appeals. Yeah? So this is going to be the chest for the Gelgoog, and I think this is going to work out really well. There's a few things that we're going to have to figure out, as always. But I think this is good. I think this is going to be the one to go with. And I think what I'm going to do is not use a ton of stuff from the actual Gelgoog itself, except for maybe some armor parts and stuff like that, but disguise what we're doing as a Gelgoog, meaning potentially use the legs of the Sazabi and use the chest of the Q-Blade, use the arms of maybe the Sazabi or Sinanju Stein or something like that, but dress them up to look like the Gelgoog. So, have the signature forearm vent thingies and the signature forearm shape, right? And use the shoulders, obviously, because these are a big part. That's kind of a signature part of it, obviously. Kind of dress it up, if you will. So, I think that's the direction that we're going to go in. I think so. Yeah. Donnie Baxter's over there on Facebook. He says, "Hola, Senor Mecha. What's up, D?" He also says, "Shout out to Pabs. He's in the hospital." I know. I saw that, dude. For those of you that don't know, our boy Chris Pabs, Red Suns, is in the hospital right now. Evidently, he was bleeding internally. And he passed out, I guess, in his bathroom or something like that. And they rushed him to the hospital. And yeah, so he's been in there. He's been in the hospital for like a day. He posted something on his story on Instagram today, and I, shouted out to him. I'm like, "Yo, what happened?" And he told me, and yeah, scary stuff, you guys. Scary stuff. I told him, I said, "Stop sniffing that resin dust." So hopefully I got a little laugh out of that and maybe raise his spirits a little bit, right? But it's not fun being in the hospital. So shout out to Chris Pabs, obviously. Yeah, Julio, Chris Pabs, Red Suns. Yeah, he's in the hospital. So yeah, give him a shout out, drop him a line, sneak into his DMs or whatever, and yeah, just let him know you're thinking about him. Yeah. So. Good stuff. Also, Terry, where the hell are you going to, buddy? He says he's not going to be on the stream for a few months because of the country he's going to. Because I guess you're going on tour again. He says already got the VPN set up, but the connection might not be good enough to watch the stream, and time difference might be an issue as well. Well, yeah, it's a big thing. He says, "I'll definitely miss working on my build, watch the stream, and catching the chat live for sure." Dude, that's why we got them archived, man, Definitely. Bill, Ruslan, what are you doing over on Facebook, man? But Bill has a question.
We have a question.
He says, "Will it offer the articulation for the pose you want?" Definitely. Yeah. And he's referring to the Cublé torso. So check this out, you guys. That's straight up, right? So that's tilted up. That's tilted down. So, and then it can go crazy side to side action too. So yeah, so this torso will definitely offer actually increased posability. So and articulation. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Dwidget says, "Geez, it seems like everyone's ending up in the medical this month." Yeah, seems like it, right? Brian Guy, what's up, Brian? Dang, that happened to me a while. Working out somehow broke a rib during college sports. Damn. Julie Stemsky Sarge says, "Oh, a lower GI bleed. Been there. Get well soon, Chris." I don't know. He just said internal bleeding. I don't know from what, and from the sound of it, he didn't even know kind of what it was. So I don't, I wouldn't necessarily jump to conclusions at this point, but I'm just going off of what he told me. Ranger Chris over there on YouTube, he says, "Was hospitalized last year with arrhythmia, so know how much being in the hospital sucks." Yeah, no, it really does. I hate the hospital. Yeah. Scott Newmakers over there on Facebook. He says, "Hello, what's up, Scotty?" Brandon's wanting to know what he missed. Man, nothing. We're just talking so far. Chris Pab's in the hospital, so that sucks. Yeah. Bry Guy wants to know, extending the ab section. You know what? Yes, actually. So even though this offers a ton of articulation, this section, this gray section here, is a bit on the shorter, squattier side. So yeah, that's one of the things that will definitely need to happen. But the cool thing is, it's just a ball and socket joint. So that's really, really simple to be able to modify, right? That's why I love these older master grades. There's not much going on the inside, but it makes it a world easier to modify. There's also a huge cavity right there, right here where the neck and everything is. And that's all hollow and nicely squared and level inside. So I can actually build up whatever neck connection that I need to in that. Really, really nice. The only downside that I perceive at this point is the space between the neck is way too thin for this. So I'm going to have to remove both of these inner ridges but leave these outer ones. So not a huge deal. And then I think what I'm going to do, well, actually I know what I'm going to do. The arm pegs have got to go. These are terrible. Just kind of, it's a ball and socket in there, and there's not much room for movement. So I'm going to need to scratch build a box inside here to be able to hold the original Gelgoog arm kind of box dealy things. I don't know what you want to call them. But that's, yeah, I really, really like this. I think we're going to reshape some things on this, get rid of the cables here on the front side. This weird thing is got to go. These slats here, we got to do something with those, either cover them up or cut them off or something like that. But this is a very, very good base part for the chest going forward, I think. So, yeah. The other thing that I kind of decided on is that the Gelgoog head itself, a little too wide for my taste, right? So here's the Gelgoog inner skull, if you want to call it that, right? But then here's the Zaku 2. And I've got a few of these floating around here because of the donor parts and stuff like that, right? So what I think I'm going to do, and it's funny because the neck and the mono eye rotation and everything like that is the same exact mechanism. You can swap one neck from the Gelgoog onto the Zaku 2 and it's the same exact thing, right? So what I think I'm going to do is use the Zaku 2 skull as the basis and then reform the head around this because it's thinner this way, but it's got a little bit more height to it, which I kind of like better. So yeah, I think that's the theme for this thing. It's not going to be a Gelgoog underneath, but it'll be a Gelgoog outside, right? It'll be dressed up like a Gelgoog, right? So I think that's going to be kind of the, like I said, like kind of the theme. Yeah. Let's see. Let's catch up with some things, yeah? Excuse me. Bill wants to know, would a goof skull be more proportional? Probably not. Well, I mean, I don't know. I can't say for certain. I mean, a goof, you gotta figure a goof is only slightly bigger than the Zaku. But I like the Zaku skull proportions a bit better. So, and I don't have a goof lying around. All the goof parts have been taken and spoken for. The goof head that I had turned into the Ozymandias. So, scratch that idea, right? So, Julius over there on YouTube, just a thought for the Gelgoog or another kit could use the shoulder armor from the Kublai as shields like on the Kshatriya. Yeah, the one thing that I don't like about the Kublai shoulders is that they are asymmetrical. They have different designs on each shoulder, which I'm not a real big fan of. So that's one of those things. What I do like and what I do have are these guys. These are kind of the shoulder mechanism thingies for the Hashmal from IBO. And I really like the shape of these, and I've been really wanting to use these in the build because I can see them, because it's nice and thick back here. You can fit like a whole booster system back here and a nice big booster down there, and just, you know, fill this section out here with something. And I think this would look amazing, kind of as like some wing. Of course, I dropped it as wing binders or something like that. Just, yeah, I think that's what I might be going for. So, yeah. But anywho, Kurt Hill says, yeah, wife was in emergency this week as well. Sounds a bad time for everyone this month. Dude, I know, right? And just before SCGMC, too. That's the disappointing thing. Hopefully I don't get sick. Knock on corrugated lumber or cardboard or whatever this is. Ranger Chris says, you're going to chisel at some abs. Maybe. I might scratch build at some abs. You never know, right? Like and subscribe. He's now over there on Twitch. He says, use Sazabi abs. Nah, man. This is Sazabi's a chunky boy, man. When you really get down to it, he's kind of chunky in the. I mean, he's thin front wise, right? But in profile, he's a little bit of a chunky boy. So that's kind of one of the holdups I didn't really want to use, and it's so recognizable. You know, there's not much you can do to the Sazabi chest because it's so intricate on the inside. There's not a ton that you can do to it to differentiate it, you know, and make it look different. The Q-Blade chest, on the other hand, there's a ton we can do to this. I'm thinking we reshape some of these parts with epoxy putty, like we did with the Ozymandias. Get rid of this flappy thing here. Lose these hoses and all that good stuff. You know, these kind of heat sink fins we can cut out or plate over or something like that. So I think there's a ton of potential in the Q-Blade chest, and it definitely fits the bill like I had hoped it would, right? So, yeah. So I think that's where we're gonna go. That's what we're gonna go with, yeah. Let's see. Zero Kai says, I think Marasai body would fit well with the Gelgoog. Maybe, but you gotta worry about the size, the scaling and everything. The Marasai is on a smaller size. The Marasai is closer to more of a Zaku kind of size. So that's one of the main concerns that I would have with using a Marasai. Is that it just wouldn't scale with the rest of it, right? Somebody had mentioned that the Gyaradoga, I do have one of those sitting over there, but looking at the chest, it wasn't exactly the style that I wanted. And honestly, I kind of want to build the Gyaradoga at some point now. Looking at that kit, that's a big boy. I didn't realize exactly how big it was until I looked into the kit and just kind of really peeled back the sections and everything, and that's some bitch is big. So yeah. Edwin Arce, what's going on, Edwin? He says, a pretender Tim, like in Zeta Gundam, where they spoof the Titans with a Gelgoog, but with a Nemo inner frame. Kinda, I guess. Like I said, this is definitely gonna be a Gelgoog, but not in the same spirit, I guess, right? So yeah. Alright, so Space Rat 53, Barnes & Noble is doing a Gundam Build Day event on November 2nd. I wonder if I could volunteer for the event with the one here in Las Cruces. Can't hurt to ask, right? What's the worst they can say is no? Let's see. Manny MacDio says, when is Mecha and Monsters? Bry Guy says November 2nd. Same day? I don't know. I didn't really look at it all that much. Like and subscribe. Oof. I just like the particle cannon in the stomach look of the Sazi abs, but thought might look nice as just a ab section onto the Q-Blade. Yeah, I don't know. I think what I'm going to do in terms of the midsection here is scratch build something. Or heavily modify this, right? Similar to what I did with the Blue Destiny, because the Blue Destiny had... it was just a barrel It was just basically a seriously round section with some horizontal scribe lines in it, pre-molded, right? That was it. It was all there was. But I took that and filed down the corners, reshaped it, plated it up, made it look really nice, brought it into today's standards, and I think that's what I'm probably going to do with the Cublé as well. But give it some extra height as in addition to that. So, yeah. Bill says, I'm essentially doing a similar thing, but grafting Gelgoog parts onto a Dom torso. Funny that you mentioned the Dom torso, because here it is. I was weighing on that too, but he is a chunky boy. A chunky boy. But what I think, what I will be doing is these shoulder protrusions, these deals here. We're going to pull those off. We're going to try to use those and incorporate those into the Cublé. Because I want to encapsulate almost the head in like a collar section almost. Kind of like almost like the new what is it? The new Zaku Seed Master Grade Zaku Phantom or whatever it's called. It's got this cool like collar, like a horse collar, right? Or almost like the old cowboy collars that like they used to wear in football back in the 80s, right? Like, what's his name? Oh God. Shit, the dude that played for Seattle, Brian Bosworth. He had the big horse collar. Howie Long had the big collar and everything like that. And those were. I think that just is kind of a cool look. So having kind of, and it's hard to hold with just one hand, but we're gonna give it a shot. Fuck it. You get the idea. It's gonna be I want to have it a big collar around the head. I think that'll look really cool. Just my idea. Like and subscribe over there on Twitch. He says, I know you'll find the best for this behemoth. Dude, it is going to be big. I sized this up earlier today, and it is so much taller than the Zaku already. And I haven't even added height to it. So, yeah. It should be a big boy. Should be a big boy. Kyle says, pistons, Tim. Loads of pistons. Maybe. Bri Guy says, I'm giving my dog a bath while watching Tim, the things I do in this hobby. Right? Hey, man, we all gotta make sacrifices. Kurt Hill says, Dom's such a great kit, but man, legs were so chunky. Dude, the whole Dom is chunky, dude. It's nuts. It's nuts. I feel like I got something in my teeth. Oh, I do have something in my teeth. Look at that. From dinner. That's not a good look, is it? Let me go take care of that. That's kind of weird. I thought I had something in my teeth. I felt it. Alright, you guys stay there. Don't move. We're going to go take care of this. Hang on. I'll be back. Alright, there we go. Nice. See? Better. That's better. Had a little dinner left over there. It's always a good thing, right? No, it's not. It's terrible. Don't do that, you guys. Ricky Paul Carlson says, did Tim find the eraser stuck in his teeth? Yeah, right? That's funny. Let's see. Bill says, will the internal core of the Dom's stomach fit on the Cublé chest? Oh, hell no, dude. This is gonna... You gotta figure the Dom section here is so much chunkier. Yeah, it's like 1.5 times the size. Look at that. That's big old... That's a big, chunky block of man meat right there. That's not... We'll use that at a later date. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. And Kuro says, and the feet of the Dom are probably one of the biggest in any Master Grade. Oh, by far, dude. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Bry Guy says, that collar idea seems cool. Will make the chest look like it's plated or covered in protective armor. Yeah, and that's kind of the idea. You know, I want this thing to have a presence, you know? Almost like, think of it like I said, almost like an 80s, early 90s, you know, NFL linebacker, right? Like Brian Bosworth, Howie Long, Mike Singletary, you know, those guys with the, you know, had the massive shoulder pads and that kind of look. That's kind of the idea. That's kind of the look we're going for at this point. So I want this thing to have some gravitas. So hopefully we'll be able to achieve that. Let's see. Gunplay Miami Chris, he says, yo, what's up, Army? Dude, what's going on? Zero Kai, Luna Maria's Gunner Zaku Warrior. Yeah, I gotta get one of those. Those are real. That kit looks so nice. Like, I just love the redesign and what they did to it, and all the angles and everything like that. Yeah, it's a good look. MacDio says, "Hey yo, what it do, Miami?" Nice. Zero Kai, my chat now, since I walked off, right? Let's see, Kyle H. Everyone hurry back to your spots. Yeah. Child of Mecha Toothpicks. Ooh, hey, there we go. Not a terrible idea. Dway just says, want me to put one in for you, Tim? Dude, nah. It's cool. Like I said, I won't work on it for a very long time. So, it's best if I don't. Best if I don't. Alright, so let's continue to figure things out, shall we? Good luck. Here we go. Camera 2. Here's the mess. Like it looked last time, right? So, a few things that we definitely need to figure out before moving forward. First and foremost, we know we're using the Cubelay chest, right? So, we're gonna yank this thing off of here. This is so weird. It's just, well, the Cubelay is weird anyway, but this whole model is weird because this is just like a flappy thing. And then here's the cockpit hatch. It's just, I don't know, it's just odd. More than likely, I'll end up plating over all this stuff. I don't know, I might keep these two inner hoses, but these two outer ones definitely gotta go. I like the look of them, and I think we're going to keep them and use them someplace else. But on here, for right now, gotta go. They gotta go. Yeah? So, we know we're going to use this, right? We know we're going to use this. What? Who's messaging me? I don't know. Whoever's messaging me, I'll get to you later. Anyway. Armida, text Marquise. What the fuck is this? A 1,000-piece puzzle? Yeah. Kit bashing. At its finest. Kenneth Sim looks like a murder scene, right? Yeah. Let's see. Kyle H says, that's a tight squeeze to get into the pilot seat. Dude, right? Like, I feel bad for, what's her name? Yeah. Whatever. There was a firefight. Yeah, right? Okay, so, Aeon Micah? on Facebook. I hope I'm saying that right. GBC 2020? 2020 probably, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is GBWC 2020, or at least part of it, shall we say. So yeah. So we know we're going to rip off these two inner sections here. So that's going to go away, which then would go make these inner hoses go away. So scratch the idea that I had earlier, which we'll figure out at a later date. Now, one of the cool things was with the donor parts for the Zaku, our boy Andrew, Lil A, was nice enough to send me a box of just randoms and stuff like that, which actually had a spare Char's Gelgoog head in with it. So you can see, once we remove these two sections here, that's actually going to leave a nice big space right there for the head. And then we'll cap these two sections off with the Dom shoulders right there to start to form that that horse collar, like I had mentioned earlier, right? Now, the big fundamental question is how the arms are going to attach, because if we use the Gelgoog arms, that peg just not going to work. It's too small. These are just kind of terrible in their design, and I'm not sure why Bandai did it this way, because it really is just kind of crap. So let's get you zoomed in so you can see the jankiness of this this mechanism here. So this is your connection point for your arm, right? And that is located. This goes over top and under. Lives underneath of that, right? You can see it there on the other side. Really, really weird, because this, having that armor over top of this, limits this crazy range of motion. There's also there's a piece of plastic right in here that blocks backward movement of that joint, which is kind of asinine. And then on top of everything, it's a ball and socket. So that just is not going to work for us, right? So we got to figure out a way to incorporate. Let's get this side armor back on here. Got to figure out a way to reincorporate the assembly here. This is the original assembly for the Gelgoog 2.0. This is the original arm assembly. This is what goes into the chest itself. So it pivots up and down, and then the arm peg moves backward and forwards. Great range of motion. Great range of motion. So we need to figure out a way to reincorporate this thing. Now, that's going to necessitate us to kind of build a box and a holding kind of cradle for it. Come on now. Okay. So it's going to basically live right in there. And once we cut this ball off of here, and honestly we could cut back this section here, and that would open up a ton of room. Get rid of this stupid poly cap for the front, that front flappy piece, and then get rid of all this here. That's going to leave us a ton of room. So that's a good thing. But we'll tackle that, I think, at a later time. We need to get the forms and stuff down, and I keep kind of putting the cart before the horse here, so to speak. We need to get form down, and we need to know we need to know where we're going with things, right? Ranger Chris, Kit Bash Challenge. Put part sets into blind bags for head, torso, legs, etc. Draw one from each and build with those parts. Whew. Aeon Micah is over on YouTube now, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. I'm trying my best. Your plan on the size of the kit? Big. Big. Think Sazabi style big, maybe even larger. I don't know at this point. But it's, yeah, sizable. Let's put it that way. Vince Lewis, what's going on, Vince? Hey Tim, you ever thought about using the camphor chest? Yeah, the camphor had run through my mind a little bit, but I wanted something a little bit more boxy. The camphor is more rounded, and I just, you know what? After looking at the Cublé chest and seeing the form and everything, and how this is just shaped, this is the way to go. Trust me, that is definitely the way to go. Bill over there on Facebook, he says, with the collar, wouldn't you want to raise the shoulders slightly? Not exactly. Not exactly. Because if we look at it, right? Let's mock up the arms real quick. And again, I don't know if I'm going to be using the Gelgoog arms. That could be something we use, could be something that we scrap at this point, right? Shoot. Dropping everything. So there's the Gelgoog. There's the shoulders. Roughly in where it needs to be right now, yeah? And then with that capped off there, that collar only comes above the shoulders slightly, right? And mind you, we got to do a lot of, damn it, we're going to do a lot of work to the shoulders. We're going to do a lot of work to everything else. Right now, like I said, we're just trying to find form. That's it. Rough form. That's it. Like and subscribe. Size? Yes. Yeah. It's going to be a big one. It's definitely going to be big. So, like I said, we gotta tackle these questions here. Now, all right, see, I already see a way that right there, and this is, I'm not comparing them here, and I'm not mocking them up. I'm just simply comparing the look of these two, right? This is a signature Gelgoog feature right there. And we can definitely reincorporate that into the new midsection. Cart before the horse. All right. Focus. Here's the bikini bottom. Here's the Gelgoog. Kind of midsection, torso, chest, and everything. Now, if we raise that up, maybe, I don't know, probably about a centimeter, right? About that. I think that'll get us right kind of where we want to be in terms of middle body height. Yeah. Yeah. Right about there. Yeah. So if we raise that up about a centimeter, I think that's going to look good. Let me see something here. Hmm. It's not terrible. That's the Sinanju Stein shoulders, right? Pull back just a bit so you can kind of get a better look at that. The arms just fit in there. But, let's see, what's the size comparison? Yeah, the Sinanju Stein arms are a little short compared to the Gelgoog arms. And if we raise the height too much, we need to lengthen the arms. So I fear that the Gelgoog arms will, in turn, be a little short. So we don't want to necessarily use and depend on the Sinanju Stein arms either. The shoulders I'm not necessarily sold on right now. But again, cart before the horse. Let's get some sticky tack on here. Okay. So there's just a rough mock-up of the bikini bottom and the Q-blade chest, right? Now, I'm still looking at this Sazabi waist. It would make things a ton easier in terms of leg placement and all that. That's for sure. Let's see here. Which... All right. So, let's see. What we're going to do is cut a piece of tube that is roughly 1 centimeter. That's going to be our spacer. Good old tube cutter, yeah. JD says, Tim, what if you use the Hayakushiki abdomen area to give that slim waist? Dude, the Shiki's way too small, unfortunately. The Shiki is dainty compared to most mobile suits. Even if you compared it to the Zaku, I think it's even like thinner than that. So unfortunately, I like where your head's at. It's just yeah, it just unfortunately won't work very well. I know I'm off camera, but I've got to use the corner of my table here to saw this spacer now that we've got it marked at 1 centimeter here. Okay. All right. So that's our 1 centimeter spacer right there, right? And let's go ahead and kind of pack this here with sticky tack. Hopefully that will keep it in place, at least enough for us to kind of mock things up here, right? Kyle says, use brute force and ignorance. Boom, great kit bash. Well, a little bit more to it than that, Kyle, but yeah, essentially it's just playing with forms and trying to use what not only looks good, but also what just works, you know? Alright, so there's our height using the Sazabi waist, the 1 centimeter spacer, which is not very stable, but does the trick thus far. And then we get Sazabi legs in place. Get those back in. Let's see. Let's do a height comparison real quick with the... Holy shit. Alright, so... And let's get zoomed out so you guys can even see this thing. Alright, so... What... Shit, it doesn't even fit on camera. Look at this. What we have here is already probably a good inch taller than the Zaku. And it doesn't even have a head or shoulders or anything like that at this point. And dare I say, potentially taller than the Sazabi itself. Yeah. Like I said, guys, this is gonna be a big mobile suit. And like I said, it's gotta have just that wide chest, right? And this is gonna have a very kind of X profile, wide at the shoulders and chest, kind of thin around the midsection, wide around, big legs and stuff like that, and feet and all. I think we're on the right track. I think we are. Excuse me. Bridget says, what if you widen the Stein's shoulders, Tim? Maybe, but the thing is that the Stein's shoulders are still just a little too dainty. They're still a little small. Still a little small. So I just don't know if that probably just won't work. So, and you know what? It's not the iconic form like this, right? With this, kind of trapezoidal looking shoulder, and then this weird horn here at the end with the vent and all. So we need to keep that aesthetic, Terry T says, Tim, what are your thoughts on kit bashing in 1/100 versus in 144? I'm working on my first 1/100 kit bash, and I'm having a bit of trouble dealing with the inner frame. Yeah. Welcome to my world, Terry. Yeah, no, whenever you have to deal with an inner frame, it does complicate things exponentially. Because number one, you have to worry about that inner frame movement. You have to worry about all of the mechanisms underneath, because a lot of the, especially the modern master grades, the Sazabi and the Sinanjo are two cases in point, as well as the Gelgoog. You know, they have pistons in the arms, upper arms and lower arms that move with the elbow. They have the same thing, you know, with the knees, like we showed on, like we showed here on the Stein, right? Especially the knee section. That is so intricate and well engineered that it's pretty difficult to try and fully modify that, right? So at that point, it does kind of come down to working around those obstacles, which is something I'm definitely going to have to do. Yeah, it's part of the challenge, working in 1/100, and especially with modern master grades. The older master grades are great because there wasn't as nearly as much complications and stuff like that with the inner frame and the movement and all of that. They were very simplistic, much like the modern high grades are. So yeah, it's a fine balance. Julio says, extra lurking, trying to get my Cialis on. Nice. Bishop Stormy's over there on Twitch. He says, that shot is awesome with all those pieces all over. Yeah. It doesn't feel awesome, dude. It feels like contained chaos right now, which is not something I'm very much into at this point. But, you know, it's what I have to deal with. Let's see. Julio says, I'm closing gaps and getting stuff filed down. Nice. Julio says, trying to prime. Nice. I like when desk looks like this. Shows that work. Yeah, maybe. Like when you have to show it in math. Jesus. Kenneth said, maybe use some parts from the RE Hama Hama. Dude, if I had a Hama Hama, I might use some, but I don't. So, more's the pity. Michael Ortiz, he's over there on Facebook. He says, dropping mad facts. Love your show, dude. Thank you, man. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that, buddy. We're just trying to figure shit out right now. It's not easy. It is not easy, you guys. And then throw on the pressure of having you guys on here and talking to you and trying to figure shit out, makes it infinitely worse. Which is not a problem. I'm up to the task, right? But it definitely does complicate things. That's why I get my best work done when I'm just kind of laser focused and, you know, not on stream sometimes. But we have designed some cool shit on stream. Case in point, what? The Dormarsh. Yeah, if y'all missed that on Monday, there it is again. So, size comparison. Let's take a look at this thing right now, right? There's our Gelgoog, our Hunter Gelgoog. There's the Dormarsh. A big weapon for a big mobile suit. Yeah. Deserving. I might add, deserving. So let's take a look at the profile and let's see what this thing is going to look like. Because now that I'm looking at this more like this, and the chest is starting to come off there, so we got to support it a little bit. Looking at it like this, I think we can shave a little off here, bring that more into form. Because I do still want to try and utilize the skirts, you know, for the Gelgoog here, right? Still want to try to use these things because they're just, I mean, they're iconic. The whole skirt section is just something that we definitely should be using, in my opinion. So we got to figure out a way to make all that work. Luckily, we'll figure something out. We'll just figure it out. We always figure it out. Paktan says he is going to circumcise it. Whew. I guess that's one way of looking at it, right? This thing's going to become a eunuch. Whoosh. Ay. I don't... Just stop. Damn it, Paktan. Why did you make me think about that? That's terrible. That's disgusting. And, you know, this whole midsection here, this waist here, we can probably we could probably incorporate that and get that vented look, you know? And even here, see, here's even the underside of this thing. And I wonder, we could, you know what we could do? Oh, so here's an idea. Is since these vents are sectioned off really nicely and neatly, we could cut these vents and attach them to the underside all the way around and regain that bottom vent look. See, the ideas start to flow when you get a good direction, you guys. That's what I'm talking about. Alright. We're getting there. I feel it. I feel like we're getting there. And shit, you know what? Let's take this guy off of here. Put the waist section in the back here. What if we just went balls out crazy, right? What if we even extended the chest out like that? I mean, go nuts with it, right? I think that's a fucking brilliant idea. Yeah. Superset 5 over there on Twitch got about a third of the painting done on the real grade Banshee today. I should be done with everything, like 95% done with everything by Sunday. Nice. That's always a good feeling, right? Kyle says, I wish the GPO1 and Turn A were more compatible, but hey, mustn't be afraid to cut things up. Damn right. Damn right. And Julio's making a good look of it too, right? But he's using a GPO2, not a GPO1. Get your shit straight, Kyle. Man, okay. I think we got something here, you guys. I think we might have something here. Maybe not necessarily those. Maybe those are too small. But check it out. Okay, hold on. Check it out. So we're still gonna pop. Michael Ortiz over there on Facebook says, I see the dark clouds of brainstorming. Dude, you have no idea what's running in my head right now, bro. Like, yeah, this is full on mad scientist shit right now. Alright, so let's get these kind of just mocked up rough here. Kind of like that. Yeah, okay. And then, where's the other one? There it is. Okay. See, and this is how you do it, guys. Sticky tack and just flowing with ideas. Just run with it. At this stage, don't worry how it's going to connect. Don't worry how you're going to make things move and all that. Don't worry about that crap. Right now, it's all about form. It's all about form and what looks good. You're basically writing your outline, if you will, right now. You're going to connect all the pieces later down the line, right? All the pieces will connect later down the line. All right, so there's that horse collar, right? There's that horse collar that we like, that we want to form in this thing. And you got to think that these two sections here will be cut off and hollowed out. So this is just going to be one big section for our Gelgoog head to live in, right? And that's going to be plenty of room for movement. Yeah, plenty of room. That's going to look great. Okay. So, all right. So we're going to keep these sections on here. It's not terrible. Okay. And then go out, seriously, go out and buy a bunch of sticky tack, you guys, if you're going to do this. This stuff is worth its weight in gold right now, to me. This is the stuff that makes everything happen right now. Okay. And then we'll get that smushed on there, right? I think I see the big boy forming here. I think I see him forming. I think I see him coming to life. I like what I'm seeing thus far. Huh. Alright. Smush that section on there. Look at that. Look at that top-down look. You've got this nice tapered point back here. You've got this nice kind of taper this way. But then, look at that. That is just a nice, wide, barrel-chested look. And then, let's see. Let's see. What else can we mock this up with here? Get off of there. Shoot. Okay, so this is just real quick, just to help mock this up. This is all that it is. This is not going to, this little Zaku waist unit is not going to be incorporated into this build. This is just to give it height and to give it mass down here, just so we can kind of see the form and stuff, right? Okay. Yeah. It's a little bit taller than what I want. A little bit taller than what I want. But it gets the point across. Gets the point across. Yeah, I really kind of dig that look. Yeah. I'm digging this. I am digging this, you guys. Hell yeah. Fucking Zach. Get out of here, asshole. You guys, the Zaku Aurelius has graced us with his presence. He says, I got some sticky tack for you. Handmade too. Motherfucker. I didn't even notice it until right now. What's going on, Z? This asshole. Oh, hey, you guys, just real quick, we're going to have an episode of Mechanism this Saturday coming up. So check your local listings. It'll be right here. We're trying to get a guest. No word on that yet. We'll let you know. Dwayne just said sticky tack make Tim giddy like a little schoolgirl. Dude, like I said, man, it's worth its weight in gold. It really is. Julio says, Gumpa Talk. What did I say? Yeah, Gumpa Talk. My bad. Did I say Mechanism? I'm more thinking about this fucking thing than anything right now. But yeah, Gumpa Talk. We're going to have a Gumpa Talk on Saturday. Sorry. Julio says, shoulders for days. Yep. Kyle H, my boy can bench. Yeah. GizmoCon Gumplo. Jonathan says, looking at it right now reminds me of the Hulkbuster. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Brandon wants to, what torso is that? Just got back on the stream. So this right here, this kind of purplish section is the Cuble. This is just, this bottom section here is just from a Zaku 2. It's just to kind of give it more substance. It's not going to be incorporated, but yeah. Let's see. Michael Ortiz over there on Facebook. Maybe Sazabi shoulders with points on them. You know, I'm not into the Sazabi shoulders for some reason. I'm just... I think it would give away the farm a little bit too much, right? And the shoulders for the Gelgoog are just a little too iconic. You know? Just a little too iconic to not have in there, right? So I have the shoulders right there like that. Man, look at the lines. The lines on the shoulders just kind of continue everything. The lines are... It really just kind of makes that happen. I kind of dig this, what we got so far, you guys. I really, 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 really kind of dig this right now. So, this might be something we go with. Silver Maverick, Ricardo says, y'all give Mike some shit about the 120th Valkyrie for 200. Afterwards, yeah, we were talking about it on the after show Mechanism. Yeah. He likes his what is it, the Gerwalk or whatever it's called. He likes it, so can't blame him. He was actually saying he was thinking about buying the Valkyrie, so who knows? Might see another one. Terry T, I wish I had sticky tack. Working with tape sucks. I guess I'll need to start making my own too. Nice. Rensley Clark's over there on Facebook. He says the gray waist section might need a little beefing out, maybe. No, dude. You know, that's actually kind of the look that we're going for with this. Big, beefy upper body, wide, like what you see here. You know, the collar section around the head. The head will be kind of pulled in, recessed a little bit, similar to the new Zaku Warrior Master Grade. So it's going to be, you know, kind of down in there a little bit. You know, and that's the look that we're actually going for. Now, mind you, this is going to be the midsection here. This gray section is going to be completely redesigned. It's going to be heightened by about, I don't know, a centimeter or so, and it's going to be squared off, angled, plated, the whole 9 yards. So these are not, yeah, those aren't going to. It's not going to be round like that. He says towards the back, maybe a hydraulic or two for support. Maybe. Like I said, this is all form. This is not function. This is all form right now. We're just trying to get shapes and stuff like that going right now. So, Julio Ponte says, I think the Saz shoulders would make good forearm guards. Eh? I don't know. That's a big forearm guard, dude. Big old forearm guard. Super Set 5, what about using the Hashmal shoulders? I've got another plan for those, but I like where your head's at. Rensley Clark, like the Barbados. Oh, yeah, it's interesting. That's an interesting thought. I'm definitely going to keep that in mind. Brandon over there on YouTube says, Dollar Tree Blue Sticky Tack is great. Yes. And dude, and that's exactly where you get it. Like dollar store, Target, Walmart, $1 or $2 for like a whole sheet of this stuff. Like I said, worth its weight in gold. You can reuse it till the cows come home. I've had this for years, and yeah, it still works great. So yeah, go get you some sticky tack. Soravan says, I think he's putting that on the backpack. Yeah. That's kind of the idea that I have at this point for the Hashmal wing. So yeah, Soravan, good call. Bry Guy, okay, what I miss, been gone for 11 minutes. Dude, you missed this. This happened in the last 11 minutes or so. Kyle says, Sticky Tack is the only thing holding my turn A right now. Going to start gluing and putty work this weekend. See, there you go. Julio, Bry Guy says, Julio, I made chili again. Give me that chili, man. I like chili. Hook me up. Send it over. Send it over. Red Rover, send your chili over. There you go. So, I like this so far, right? Let's take this off of here. Let's get a check on how this is gonna look on the waist, though, or on the whole thing here. Let's get this centered up first. Just like that. And let's get a little sticky tack on these vents here and stuff, yeah? Just so we can keep those in place. Boom. Get a little bit right there. And then we'll get these guys, get this smushed down on there. Just to hold, nope, come on. Hold in place. You son of a bitch. Right there. Okay. Let's see. Is this the, okay? Yep, it zoomed all the way out. All right, so, and that's not, that little section there is not holding. So there, and I can't zoom out any more than that, right? There is what is working thus far. I like the width of the chest. I really do. And if we compare the chest as it is right now to the width of the Sazabi chest, I mean, look at that. That's not incredibly wider, right? Obviously it is, but it's not obscenely wider. Yeah? I think it's got a good beef to it, you know? Yeah. Brandon says extra spicy. That chili is extra spicy, isn't it? Yeah. So I think that's what we're going to go with. I like it so far. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Let's keep going. Let's keep going here, shall we? Now, if for some reason we still wanted to use the Gelgoog legs, let's Let's mock this up, shall we? There are the connection pieces. See, this is the one problem about having shit strewn all over the place here on your desk like this. It's hard to find stuff, little parts that you're actually looking for, right? Here we go. All right, and let's get the bikini bottom put back together here. Where's the cross section here? There it is. What's up with that? Why is it not going closed? Oh, it might be backwards. Let's see. There we go. Now we got it. All right. So here's the bikini bottom. And let's get one of the legs for the actual Gelgoog on here. And then let's see height and mass on this thing. Because these legs are significantly shorter than the Sazabi's, right? So here are the Sazabi legs and waist. Here is the Gelgoog. That is probably at least an inch taller. Yeah, at least. But let's see. Yeah, no, that's not going to work because look at the width. Yeah, that's not going to work at all. The width of this is now wider than the base of the feet. So this is the actual Gelgoog waist and legs out of the question at this point. So we are definitely left with the Sazabi legs and waist. We can make the waist work, you know? We can make the waist work. I like the height. I like the width, the girth of it. It's girthy, much like Zach's Sticky Tack. Yeah. Yeah. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. Kyle H, gotta get some sleep. Good night. Good night, Kyle. Bry Guy. I'll bring chili for SCGMC for everyone. Nice. There we go. Hey, Flynn. Mr. Craig Flynn. Flynn Burger. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Everybody saying hi. Brandon says, congrats on the new job. To Tex. I know. Armita's like a buyer now for a hobby store. Yeah. JD's over there on YouTube. Looks like that new Build Fighters Core Gundam. Oh, the short squatty little thing, right? Exactly. Armita says, just a side hustle though, no career changes. Yeah. Paktan says, and I call him Sir Mushroom. Head the girth master, only slightly circumcised. Wow. Alrighty then. Nice. Nice. Good stuff. All right. I think we're on the right track with this. Now, the next kind of hurdle that we got to jump is arm length. Because like I said, since we've raised this up a centimeter we need to make sure arm length is appropriate, right? So I don't know if the Gelgoog arms are going to be long enough, because if you look at human anatomy, if you've ever studied it in school or whatever, if you extend your arms and your fingers, straight out like this, down in front of your in front of your body or to your sides, the tips of your fingers should come halfway on your upper leg, right? Halfway down on your upper leg. So, granted, the anatomy and things of mobile suits is not exactly similar. Case in point, Sinanju Stein. That thing is more leg than anything else. But, we still want to try to hit that recognizable comfort zone, right? So, if we look at the Gelgoog arm here, and we just kind of rough this in, and let's get the Sazabi's chest out of the way. If we lay this guy down, just like this, and we mock this up, that might actually work. There's that. Let's see what this. Now there's the Sazabi arm. I don't know. This looks a little long for me. Because, let's get the actual hand in here too. Yeah, okay. So this is a little long for me, because look at that. The fingers come down and touch right above the knee joint. I mean, that's like gorilla arms. This comes down just above that. Just above that. Brandon says the first arm looks a little short. Maybe. Now, another thing that we can do is, like I said, in the spirit of what we were trying to accomplish, having different parts onto different, basically having the Gelgoog armor on different under armor and like the underneath skeleton and everything, right? What we could do is strip down the Sazabi arm and then layer on Gelgoog parts. We could do that. And that would increase that length of the arm. But I think that's going to be another... I think it's going to be a wait and see kind of thing. I think that might be a wait and see kind of thing, because let's see, here's the holder for the shoulder here. Let's mock this up real quick. that. And you have to imagine that that midsection will be filled out. There will be skirts and everything like that around there too. Man. Honestly, I think it's going to be a down the road decision at this point. I think it's got to be right now because there's still a little bit too much in limbo right now in terms of overall form and aesthetic. We're getting there, but I think there's a little too much still unanswered questions. Okay, let's mock that up here. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Right there. And roughly there, right? Roughly there. Man, the lines on the shoulder right here running down all, just this one tapered line looks really, really good. Really good. Sorvan says, I think it's easy. It's easier to just add a couple millimeters to the Gelgoog arm bicep. Potentially, yeah, potentially. The one thing on the Gelgoogs, actually no, there's not, is there? Thought there was a. Oh no, there is. There is a small little piston on the back of the arm. Where is that attached? Oh, you know what, you guys? That's attached. Look at that. Huh. Alright. Never mind then. So yeah, it might be easier to add some length to the bicep here. Yeah, just cut this right in half along the along where the tabs are and everything. That might be easier. If we wanted to go that route, the jury's still out. It's not necessarily a done deal right now. Yeah. Okay. So that solves some initial questions. So that's a good thing, right? Now, the next set of questions that come up are obviously going to be the skirts, right? I sure as shit don't want this big-ass bug skirt on the back here from the Sazabi. This is a hard no for me. I never like the look of that thing. The front skirts, they're not terrible. They're not terrible. We can use them for mock-up purposes at very least. And then the side skirts, probably a hard pass as well. I just don't, that's not the look that we need to go for, right? I want to try and maintain some recall to a Gelgoog look, because after all, this is going to be a Gelgoog in its heart of hearts, even though it's going to be a monster, and it's not going to share many similarities to a normal Gelgoog. Okay. So there's where we're at thus far. Not too bad. Not too bad. The skirts definitely fill things out. That's for sure. But again, I don't want these skirts. These skirts are not going to stay as they are. We got to figure something out with that. We also have to figure out something with the legs, because the legs are too recognizable in this form right now. All right. Anybody can look at this and say, "Oh, it's from a Sazabi." So we need to do something different with the legs, definitely. Now, if we look at the Gelgoog leg, there are certain qualities that we need to incorporate, obviously. We've got a nice callback here on the Sazabi leg with this, this little diamond shape here. We can probably incorporate something similar to beef that out a little bit. This kind of middle taper section right in here, we can probably incorporate. We need to cut this front armor off just a little bit to expose the foot underneath. You turn this back around to the back, and the Gelgoog leg here has this nice collar around the top part of the lower leg. And the Sazabi's got a little bit of that shape too, but it's round and kind of bulbous looking, and I don't like that. So we're going to have to square this up and make that angular and get that little teardrop point section right in there. And then the big task, obviously, is going to be the upper legs. The upper legs are terrible for this type of look, so we're going to have to make these a lot more angular. Yeah, a lot more angular. So that's going to require a lot of reshaping on my part. So that should be a lot of fun. It looks like, yeah, it's just 2 parts. So that's not too bad. Articulation is great. That's wonderful. We need to keep that and maintain that. Engineering is very, very strong as well in here. I like the look of this big old thruster bell right here. We definitely are going to keep that. The underside thrusters and stuff like that under there, it's present on the Gelgoog, but I mean, are you really going to see that? Like when it's standing up or whatever, and when the foot is flexed, I mean, unless you're looking at it perfectly like that, you're never going to see those thrusters. You're just not. And that's the short and skinny of it. So, chances are I'm going to probably remove those thrusters in there and simplify things up internally. And then the foot definitely needs a little bit of a redesign here, because this is too much of a Sazabi foot. Not enough Gelgoog. I like the angles. I like the boxiness of it. But we want to try and get this this look right here. Right? Nice big thrusters on the bottom of the feet. This nice angle. This nice toe flex right there. Really, really good. So, this is going to be a challenge, kids. Yeah. This is going to be a challenge. But one I'm up for. One I'm definitely up for. It's going to be fun. And I think we've got our direction. So now, I think we need to get to work. And kind of start building this thing out a little bit more. We've got a rough shape. We know how we're going to do this. We've got we've got a rough plan in terms of details and proportion. Let's get it done. All right. So, like with everything else, after the weapon is done and all, I like to start working on the head. So we've got a nice little spare donor head from our boy Lil Andrew, Mr. Whiteclaw himself. We've got the other parts from the original Gelgoog head here. It's pretty simplistic. I mean, you've got the inner skull, you've got this this outer ring here, and then the snout goes onto that, and then you've got the upper part of the head, and then you've got the little mohawk. It's pretty simplistic. Pretty simplistic. Michael Ortiz over there on Facebook, he says maybe use the Sazabi arm frame with Gelgoog armor parts. It's kind of what I was thinking originally, but looking at the length of the Gelgoog arm now, I'm not completely worried about it. But as we continue, that might be a game day decision later down the line. So it's definitely something we'll have to reevaluate later. Yeah. Michael also says the point on the Sazabi foot's got to go. Yeah, no, I agree. That's definitely one that's just going to get chopped off right away. Sorvan over there on Twitch, he says, I think it's... oh, we already read that. Easier to add a couple of millimeters onto the Gelgoog's arm. Yeah, we already read that. Sorry. Spider2K2's with us. What's up, James 2.0? What is up, everyone? Just finishing work. Welcome. Ooh, look at that. Julio's got a Master Grade Titus in transit. What? It's not a bad-looking kit, I might say. I don't like age kits at all, but the Titus has got some pretty cool parts, especially those shoulders and stuff. Those look cool. We could definitely do something with those. All right. Now, like I said before, I don't necessarily care for the shape of the... there's the inner part of the mohawk there. I don't necessarily like the shape of the skull and the width of this and all that. So what we're going to do, what we're going to start with and kind of reshape into the Gelgoog head is a Zaku 2 head, right? So we've got the bitty parts here for that. What did I do with the skull for that? I set it down now. I can't find the damn thing. Go figure, right? Here's the next section. It was right here. Y'all stole it. Damn it. Y'all keep stealing my stuff. Did I drop it on the floor? No? Well, shit. Ain't that a bitch. Damn it. Where did it go? Y'all keep stealing shit from me, man. Why do you guys do this? I thought we were friends. Superset is stealing parts now. Yeah, exactly, Soravon. Nice. Nice. It's got to be around here somewhere. I literally just had it earlier in the stream. I was showing you guys. Ain't that about a bitch? I found it. It was in my lap. That's embarrassing. All right. So, you know, if you look at this, right? If you look at the size comparison between these two, and let's get you zoomed in here so you can see this a little bit detailed since we're working with smaller parts now here. The size comparison between these two is not that great, right? The Gelgoog's head is wider, definitely, by at least like 5 centimeters. And that's the one part about the Gelgoog 2.0 head that I just don't really care for all that much, is the physical width of this thing. So that's one of the parts that I just we need to fix. So that's definitely something that we've got to do. Now, also too, the snout is just not good at all. It's not nearly as pointy as I'd like it. If you look at, say, like the Gelgoog Marine in 0083, right? I love the Gelgoog Marine design. And that was actually back in the day when I first started to get into customization. Was my first very, 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 very first project that I wanted to take on in terms of customizing something. But I got in way over my head, and I didn't know how to navigate that, so I just kind of gave up on it, right? But the Gelgoog Marine has a much pointier, longer kind of snout compared to this. This is way, way wide. Those two little holes on the end there just makes it look like a pig. Just not good, in my opinion. Just not good. So, we're going to be utilizing the Zaku head here for our project. Now, I wonder, can this whole thing come off the... No. Well, that might not be bad. I wonder if this whole assembly can be taken on and off the head at once, because if that's the case, then we'll glue this whole damn thing together, and then we can build on top of this, right? This will be basically our the base to customize the head, right? Because look at this. It's the perfect length front to back, right? And hell, dare I say a better shape overall. So let's see if we can't try and put this thing on in one singular piece and see if that works, yeah? Look at that. Goes on all in one piece. So that's a really good sign. Because if it can go on in one piece, it can come off in one piece. That's the big thing. That's the big thing. Dwidge says, Tim, it's all Murphy's fault. Yeah, it's a damn law, right? Spire2K2. Anyway, I will be watching this tomorrow since I need to drive home from work. Y'all have a good night. James, thank you, buddy. Edwin R. say, you'll find it when you're not looking for it. Yeah, no, I found it. Luckily, it was in my lap. Michael Ortiz, maybe use some parts from the Yak Doga. Dude, if I had one, probably I would use one, right? I'd probably use one. Superset, what about the RE1100 DJ? Man, if I had one, I might use it, but I don't. Gotta work with what you got, right? Michael Ortiz, especially the shoulders. Oh, from the Yak Doga. Yeah, he says they're similar to the Gelgoog. Yeah, no, now that I think about it, they are kind of similar. Again, if I had one, I'd probably use it, right? Probably use it. But I don't have one, so you got to work with what you got, right? And plus, you know, I want the Gelgoog shoulder is nice because you got all this wonderful inner stuff going on in here. Obviously, it's never going to be seen, but it's still nice to know it's there. The vent and all this up here is really, really nice, even though we're going to get rid of it to attach the shoulder shields. But we can definitely work with this and detail this up and make this just look really, really, really nice. So I've got some plans for the shoulder. Got some plans for it. All right, so now that we know that we can take the top of the head off as well as the ring, man, that's going to make life so much easier for us. So much easier because we are going to be using epoxy putty on this guy pretty extensively coming up here, because what we'll need to do is build up this upper ridge here, this part there, right? And I don't want to use this part from the Gelgoog itself because, again, it's just too freaking wide, right? We're gonna kind of make our own, and trust me, it'll look similar, but it'll look way different too, right? It'll look way different. First things first, though, we gotta fuse these together. Normally, I'd use Plastic Magic, right? Normally, I'd use Plastic Magic, but I want the solvency. I want the glue to work a little bit more. I want it to get a little hotter and dissolve this plastic a little bit more. So what that means is bringing out our old friend, Tamiya Extra Thin, right? That's what we got to do. Now, to get this to really, really set and work, we're going to use a little bit of capillary action going here, right? And it's not a huge deal if we make a freaking mess out of this, because we're going to be puttying over all of this pretty much anyway. So it's not a huge deal that this this gets messy. Not at all. Not even a concern of mine right now. We're even going to hit it on the inside here a little bit too. Make sure everything's lined up nice and neat. Yeah, there we go. And we're off to the races, kids. There we go. Man, it's a good thing Dean's not with us. Our parts count would suck tonight. Right? All right. So, there's your first part. glued up in process. We're going to let this thing sit for probably a good 24 hours. So this time tomorrow night, I can start applying putty to this bad boy, sanding this down, getting a nice rough surface on this first, and then getting a good layer of putty on this, so then we can work with it and start shaping it and all that good stuff. And then we'll circle back here on Friday and see what we got. Hopefully we'll have something in the works, yeah? Just kind of flooding this seam with glue. It can't hurt at this point. So there we are. Rock and roll. Cool. All right. So what time is it? Midnight. Whoop, whoop. It's that time, kids. Let's go back to camera 1. All right. Let's tie a bow on this sucker. We've got a direction. We've got our direction. That's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. I like the way that we've mocked up this chest. I like the fact that we've made a decision on the legs and the waist. We've pretty much got a good idea of what we're doing for the arms. Yeah, I think we're in good shape right now. We've got a cool little blueprint with this little line art and everything. So yeah, one step at a time. One step at a time. It was slow going on the Zaku at first. It's going to be slow going on this one at first too. So, but things will definitely start to ramp up once we get forms and connections down and all that good stuff. So, first things first is the head. Just like it was on the Ozzy, just like it was on the Zaku here. We've got to get the head looking right first. Then after that, we can build from that. So, all right, kids, if you want one of these cool-ass airdrop shirts, I definitely suggest hitting up www.chadamecha.com. There's a store link up at the top. Hit that. Then you'll be presented with shirts and hats and all sorts of other cool things. Go stock up. It definitely helps. And if you're interested in any of the tools and materials that we didn't work with here tonight, there is a link just below here on YouTube and Twitch. That side, if you're watching on Facebook, go hit that up. I get a bit of a commission based off the stuff that you buy, but it definitely goes to support the stream. Aside from that, if you are in need of kits and paints, accessories, Mecha Decals, hit up our good friends down here, USA Gundam Store. Adam and those fine folks down there will definitely have what you need. So, without further ado, I will be back here on Monday. Then we got Gunpla Talk on Friday, or Saturday. Saturday is Gunpla Talk. And hopefully by then we should have probably a guest lined up. Stay tuned. And then next week, 2 streams, and then Mechanism on Friday. And then after that, it's SCGMC week. Can't wait. Gonna be so much fun. So come on back here on Friday. Have a great Thursday, you guys. Be safe out there. Build something cool, and we will see you next time.